Hey everyone, this is Angela from Bake It With Love, and today we're making my homemade quick brioche buns. And I by no means am an expert when it comes to baking breads, so if I can do these, so can you. We're going to start out with 1 1/4 cups of milk, and you need to warm that to 110 degrees Fahrenheit, same as you would with water when you're making bread. You need it the right temperature to activate your yeast, generally speaking. Ciabatta bread's an exception to that. I don't warm my water for that. Anyway, so 1 1/4 cups of warm milk, 110 degrees. 2 tablespoons of the active dry yeast, which is 6 teaspoons. So if you're getting the active dry yeast packets, you're going to need 3 and measure out 6 teaspoons from there. And then 2 tablespoons of sugar, and I let it sit for 10 minutes while it got nice and frothy and activated my yeast before adding my 1 large egg, and then 1/3 cup of butter. You melt the butter and then set it aside while the yeast is activating so that it's not super hot when you add it in. And use your mixing paddle and get those started mixing, and we're going to slowly add in our flour. And you're going to need about 3 1/4 cups of flour, possibly 3 1/2. It's going to depend on a lot of things like your humidity, where you're at, the temperature that day. We're up here in the north, so it really throws off my flour amounts sometimes. So I give you a range of what you're looking for here. So we want a very elastic dough, but it's still going to be a little bit wet. So we're going to continue using our mixer paddle until we have all of our flour incorporated. And you want it to look kind of like this, more like a cookie dough appearance. So I'd start with slowly adding in your 3 cups of flour, and I do that about 1/2 cup at a time until I get to the last bit, and then I only add about a tablespoon at a time until I get it right where I want it. And then I went ahead and scraped off my mixer paddle and switched to my dough hook, and we're going to go ahead and do our kneading here for about 5 to 7 minutes on a low speed to start out with. You can go up to a medium speed and get that slapping the last few minutes. And with most breads, you're looking for a stretchy dough. So we are still looking for a nice stretchy dough that's going to stretch without breaking, but it's still going to be kind of sticky. And after you're done kneading it, we're going to transfer it out to our working surface. And even though I usually heavily flour my working surfaces, with this dough I don't so much. And I've got a bowl of water on the side of my pastry mat that I'm going to use to get my fingers wet when I'm working with this dough. Okay, and I'm not really kneading the dough so much here as getting it just kind of into the ball form that I want before I start slicing off my portions. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this into 8 portions for my brioche buns. So I'll cut it in half and then cut each portion again into half until I have my 8 pieces. So we'll go ahead and show that. Now, if you want really even portions, you might grab one of the kitchen scales and measure each of these as you cut them, and you can grab a little bit off and add really easily at this stage. I'm just cutting into, half and half again, so I get my 8 portions. That's all I'm doing here, real quick, real easy. So like I said, quick brioche buns, so we'll stick with the quick theme here. Okay, we're going to shape each of our dough portions into a nice little bun. It's going to be basically the size of the bun that you want, and just kind of flat looking though. So my 8 buns, I'm going to go ahead and use my fingers and kind of shape them into a kind of a flat disc. And I'm using the water on the side to keep it from sticking to my fingers. After you get them all shaped, you're going to let them rise for 10 minutes. Use either a damp towel or plastic wrap that's got the underside oiled. And then make your egg wash with 1 egg and a teaspoon of cold water and coat each of your buns. And then we're going to bake them at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for about 10 minutes, 10 to 12. Okay, you're looking for a nice golden color when these come out of the oven, and they will rise a little bit more while baking. So there we go. They're beautiful and golden. They're really wonderful with hamburgers. These are probably the best hamburger buns. I've got some pretzel buns coming too, so stay tuned for that. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe for all of our videos. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.